Here we are.
Back again.
We're back.
After hours, you haven't gotten rid of us yet. So we just finished our 4th D&D with the lovely Selene joining us once more. Thank you so much for being there, Sel. Really appreciate this.
And the lovely, beautiful Xave. Let's not forget.
Of course.
I don't
like,
feel it. Hurt, man.
Holy crap. So, as is usual, after hours, I will go on my back cam and turn off my light because it's that.
I wish I could do that
Classic.
right now. I can't.
You can't go into your back cam?
I'll just do this. This is my
No,
back
it's-
cam right here. All right. So
Are we just
here we are.
Yeah, just show your back cam.
Yeah.
Fine.
I can't even remember what I did with my other camera.
Oh man, this is amazing.
Alright, so just kick back, relax, and yeah, what do you guys think? What was... I mean, sure. I mean, Boney was here for the last D&D, so, you know, that was alright. But, you know, Xave, Sel, how was it for you guys?
Yeah, it was good. I didn't really think you had thought like how I would go there, but I figured I could always just tell the story that I showed Silverfang a pair of Booker's sweaty underwear and like follow the scent and take it off. That was gonna be my explanation.
Well, save it because
That's for
there will
next
be
time,
some
yeah.
exactly for next time. Like you can bring up the question, like we're gonna go. So how exactly did you find us? Yeah. So
We'll have to introduce my new character and all that fun stuff too.
yes. So my idea was obviously I had to reintroduce both you and Sel. I didn't know if Sel was gonna come on until like 2 hours before, but you know reintroducing her was quite easy. Basically, in my mind, you know, Zealk needed to make his exit. So that was to make people, if they're following the story, to understand that, you know, he hasn't been abandoned. He's still part of the story. He's just like gone off on his own for some. Obviously, it's linked to the skull, as you all saw. So you know, it's like don't forget about that. And so you know, it was pretty easy. You know, she woke up, and obviously, she would try and find you guys. How she found you guys? That's like what I leave to Sel. But basically, you know, the end result of all that was that she managed to get to where you guys were in time, which was all those rolls I was doing. I had it was like a cumulative roll.
Right.
I'm not sure, like this is a bit of homebrew carried over from Vampire the Masquerade days, where there's prolonged actions, I think they're called. And you basically have to, each turn or whenever you deem, like each day, depending on what action it is, you have to roll the dice and you basically add your progress unless you roll a 1 and you say you lose all the progress you have. So basically that was like a way to, because it's half a day's ride away, you know, this kind of determined, you know, how easy it was for Sel to find a horse, how easy it was for her to navigate the streets and get out, if she ran into any problems during the thingy, during the trip, you know. She did start off with a 1, which was good because if you're gonna get a 1,
start that way.
Exactly, but that 1 basically delayed her, you know, a lot. So she ended up appearing when she did instead of earlier because of that. But yeah, that was basically the mechanic behind it. And yeah, Grandpa, where the hell's Grandpa?
Where's Grandpa?
Where's
Grandpa?
Grandpa and Dave are not here.
No.
In fact, Brock hasn't even gone online at all today or yesterday. So I have no
He
idea.
must have forgotten then or something.
I don't know. I hope he's okay. I mean, he did drop.
Boney just totally posted a good idea.
Yeah, this
Do
is
we
like
level?
this is like the picture for what
I know.
we had a big battle.
Yeah, let's do that next time.
You actually want us to show
I
us
came
leveling
across
up,
it
or...
just now. I literally came across it just now. I was like, well, this is just perfect.
I don't know. I think it's about time to show like how to level and stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. At least let's do it once so that you know it's interactive.
Yep.
Yeah, it would make sense for you guys to level. I mean, you have achieved something good and big. You have chosen to, at least. But yeah, D&D format, what do you guys think? I mean, the guy, Sel and Xave especially, that are coming on for the first time in this format. I mean, I am impressed that we haven't had any technical issues all night.
Right?
And this is probably...
Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't get technical issues, everything's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having technical issues right now.
Okay. I mean,
I can't see it. I can see Boney's face. Hi, Boney. Hey, how's it going, Boney?
yeah.
got full screen Boney. That's not a problem, but I can't get full screen stream back. Okay, you can. It broke. I broke everything.
You broke
Now
it.
Boney's just smiling at me.
It's the beta program. I mean,
Yeah.
apart from that,
Only tabletop, really. It's been.
Well, on an ASI.
we went really conservative on our stuff for today. So we did. I mean, it's hardly using any stuff. But again, the cameras are small, so you don't really need much resolution. So I don't know. It worked.
Quite well.
I mean, even I think we could handle up to 6. So if Grandpa were here and Set had like good internet and come in as well, yeah.
If Set had internet.
Yeah.
Some form of.
You should see the
Right.
quality of the link you sent. It's.
Oh god.
I'll
Just
take a
blocks.
screenshot. Yeah.
4 big blocks. Hey, coronavirus, Jesus. All right.
Just you.
So yeah, I think we can handle this. I'm quite impressed. This is as far as we've pushed our hardware up until now. This is the most intensive stream we've done, and
Yes.
yeah, good utilization and fingers crossed, no tech
Have to
issues for
do
next
it.
time either. You have to do it.
Now
It works okay for you guys the whole night. You guys got to sit and use the links and stuff. You can see everything clearly. Well, apart from Set, obviously.
Oh yeah,
You guys didn't have any problem?
the Medialooks thing definitely. I think it froze maybe once or twice, but it wasn't anything that a refresh couldn't fix.
Okay.
I just had so many windows open with publisher,
sheets.
OBS,
Right.
Yep.
character sheets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The chat's open in both streams,
Yeah.
and it was all on one monitor.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then I had
three
tabletop
monitors,
open
and I didn't
on the
have
other
enough.
one.
I was trying it with
Oh,
2
crap.
there, yeah. But yeah, there was no way. I basically had just 4 tiny windows on one screen and tabletop on the other.
Yeah.
Okay. So
How did you do yours, Settle? How did you end up doing yours?
Mine.
Uh,
Oh, Cell.
Cell, Set, Cell.
not
Yeah.
set.
I had like the one that you were broadcasting to me on one screen, and the rest on the other screen.
Yeah, so for that, because Cell doesn't have Tabletop Simulator, I done a broadcast via NDI straight from my PC to Cell's PC, so that she could see what I could see on Tabletop. Okay, that worked then.
Excellent.
Until Tabletop
Until you
went
lost
down.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Until Tabletop went down, which was a bit of
Oh
a pain in the bum,
shit.
but ho-hum.
Of course.
But then I
Yeah.
just looked at the
The other link.
The media.
publisher
The
thing, yeah.
monitor.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's what I ended up doing for the rest of it. We
Alright.
just watch this, but yeah. Okay, I actually have a question. Going back to the D&D stuff though, was it the intention for the fight to be the whole night?
Initially, no, but I have an experience of that these fights can turn into quite long because
Okay.
So the way to help fix that, I guess, for next time or what have you, the describing our actions and stuff is awesome. I love the RP and I love the feel for that. But if we're doing it every single turn, oh dear God, does it add time?
yeah,
So maybe describe crits, maybe describe special funny things like Grafia
once
losing
Yeah.
his
Yeah,
mind.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Stuff to that effect is cool, but let's try and keep it to like special occasions.
Okay.
But yeah, if Set wants to have a cool way he changes into his animals, like he wants to make it full on Animorph style, or
Okay.
describe that when it happens, but then he's the animal the whole entire time and he comes up and claws a guy.
Right. Okay. So
I'm sorry, but now okay, you guys that are watching this may actually get this reference now because of a video that's coming out. But Frankie, in my head, all I can hear now is when Set changes to an animal is poof. Just that
poof. Okay.
poof.
Yeah.
Okay, it's some sound effects we've been playing around with.
Oh.
Frankie and I have gone a little bit crazy this week with sound effects and
Yeah.
YouTube-y kind of stuff. So we've been overtired one night and we were just giggling at stupid shit, and that was one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is tiring, but I feel that I mean, especially towards the end, like it wasn't. I I guess towards the end is when you start feeling it, like, oh, it's been a long fight, kind of.
Right. I mean, it's a 3:45 for me now, and we started at 10.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a solid 6 hours for one combat.
Yeah, to me, this is a crucial combat. It's not one combat. It's like an entire dungeon kind of experience. That's how it was in my mind, because this is very important. Like, I mean, I didn't know if you guys were going to stick to the plan and blow the bridge or just try and get the out.
There was points where I was thinking, like, maybe I should just abandon the chests and just finish off the zombies that we have there and then get out, you know, just leave it. But yeah. And then I realized
I'm definitely going to be the
away.
mindless killing machine here.
Your electricity. Oh my god.
Yeah. So yeah, this was supposed to be one big encounter, and if any of them had to last an entire session, it was this one. Because, as I say, to me, this was like an entire dungeon. Like when we did the dungeon crawling to Heffy's lair, it was akin to that, because you know, whatever you did here is going to have very, very important consequences for what happens next. You know, whether you blow the bridge and it succeeds, whether it doesn't, you know, obviously it succeeded, or at least apparently. So now, you know, that will have consequences which we'll probably go into next time.
Interesting.
I would have liked to do a little bit more of a wind down. Obviously, everyone's sort of like Cell's still looking for Silverfang and errands with the kids, and you know, I didn't have time to sort of brief down all of you, wrap it up, and because also the horses were gone.
Sorry, all run away.
Yeah. So it wasn't a case of like, okay, everybody rode into the sunset kind of thing. So that would have just added more time. Like if we did that, it's like, okay, how do we get out now? Are we going to go look for the horses, or you know? So it's just going to pile problems upon problems, which need rolls and shit like that. So I'm like, okay, yeah, leave it here.
We're just going to use all of our move actions to go back to the tavern, and we're gonna play that one out as well.
I hope you got plenty of tiles ready.
Was it half a day's ride?
Yes. Let's convert that to feet.
Yeah, so horses move twice the speed of
60 feet.
Humans.
Yeah.
So that's a day's worth of playing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the next 3 or 4 streams covered anyway. Streams.
Yeah. So yeah, expect the next session to be a little bit more RP.
Cool.
Like, not obviously, if there is fighting, it's not going to be like a big lair or a big dungeon crawler. It might be the beginning of one, depending on what happens when you guys do. But you know, it's at least the first half of the next D&D session will be, you know, basically deciding what you guys are going to do and the new scenario presented to you. You know, like you have this big Tempest guy, you got the dwarves, which have something to say, you got the children, you know, and you have this big zombie horde. You know, so the stuff that needs to be discussed basically, and you guys need to sit down and plan what the you're gonna do. So yeah. Do I have to bleep that out?
Yeah.
What you might do.
We've got to bleep every time we swear.
Yo, fuck, stop! That's just extra work, man.
It's more editing. Have fun.
Oh god, thank you.
It.
All this round.
You guys don't need
You get
YouTube, do you?
Well, we're good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a good session. I enjoyed that. That was fun tonight.
So
It was nice to do some combat.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts, Sil? Like, how was it a bit long for you? Were you struggling through it, or?
Not the game itself. I mean, I'm used to, like, having played D&D before. I've had like one encounter taking more than one session.
Right.
So that's not a problem.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So this is your like first run through, isn't it? No, you said you DM'd before. Right?
Very, very briefly.
Okay. So how tiring did you find that? Having to do like one combat thing.
If I hadn't have had a nap like immediately before coming, I would have been exhausted by now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it's a lot obviously, but and as Xave double checking said, it's like there's a lot of time spent, especially with so many players and technical things to work out, like moving pieces and rolling dice, like there's a lot of time spent just sort of sitting and waiting for your turns at times. And obviously, I got a bit. It is how it is, but like I got a bit distracted towards the end.
Yeah, I can understand that, like, especially for the players. Like, as a DM, I have to be on top of everything the whole time.
Yeah.
So it is a little bit more tiring, but at least you're more engaged or more focused on what's going on. As a player, especially when we're, I mean, here today we were 5. You know, we could have up to 6. So you know, between your turn coming around next, it's very easy for you to sort of disengage. It's like a good 10-15 minutes maybe. So you're like, you go do other stuff and you come back. It's like, set, your turn. Oh yeah,
biscuit in my mouth.
You did because he's got food in his mouth, right?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. How about
But
you,
no, it's not really a complaint.
Yeah, it's fine. It's the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
Right, and you did say that this was meant to be that big of a battle, so it's not that big of an issue if it meant to be a big ordeal.
Yeah.
The stuff I'm talking about is like random encounters or stuff you just hit and wipe and walk over.
Yeah. No. This was not a mob. This was a dungeon and a boss all wrapped into one.
Right. Boney, just a heads up, I'm gonna keep this deck.
Yeah.
Set. I've already taken the queen out.
Cool.
Yeah, because the queen was done either way. Like the
Right.
moment I used it, once the spell ends, the card becomes blank. So I couldn't even
and it's
use
no
it.
longer usable.
Yeah.
It was washed away anyway.
Yeah,
Brony,
so-
where did you get that deck? I forget. Did you find it amongst your stuff? Or...
Yeah, that was in my stuff. Along
Alright, so
with
you got
the whole.
portable hole.
Yeah.
Okay, totally forgot about that.
Yeah, because that was the same thing with the Wand of Wonder and all that other stuff. That he got the deck of illusions out of that. Because me and you were talking about giving him the deck of many things, and we're like, nah, let's not do that.
But illusions is nice. It does cost an action, but it allows me to conjure up something that might be useful.
Not only that, but it also acts like its creature does.
Yeah.
So, like, instead of just standing there and being
Just a
a
thing.
thing for the zombie to hit, it can roar, it can move, it can attempt to fake attack or, you know, stuff to that effect. So you could have way more interaction with it.
Okay.
That could be interesting at a later date.
Indeed.
Oh yeah.
One of the cards is a freaking red dragon. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Like, what the hell?
It's the
Holy shit.
Ace of Hearts.
Ace of Hearts, I believe, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is crazy.
I saw it. It's like the
use
first one in the list. Like, oh my.
Use it wisely.
Yeah.
Yeah, to that regard, remember, Sel, you also have your magical item, that a fly, which you can sort of ride. It's in your character sheet. I don't remember the exact specs, but I think you can animate it.
Is it just some sort of mount or?
Yeah, it's an ebony fly that becomes big, and I think she's small enough to be able to ride it and fly with it and rain down arrows on the battlefield.
Interesting. That would be quite
That would be
funky
interesting.
to use next time.
Unfortunately, it will probably leave the wolf on the ground.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wolves are considered a large creature.
Yeah. So
I can't ride my wolf.
You should be able to.
Okay.
It needs battle armor.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
yeah.
Does the wolf level up with her?
No. The Beastmaster Ranger or the whole pet animal companion thing is unfortunately so watered down because you're essentially playing 2 characters where everybody else is only playing 1. So they tried to gimp the animal companion so that you don't overpower with a ranger, but they went too far one-sided, and God, it's gonna die in a hit as we're later levels.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we might do something about that. Like,
well, yeah, you can always rule it that it evolves or levels and it what have you. I can ask.
Like more hit die, maybe.
Well, yeah. So it would get its hit die every level. Maybe its AC goes up, or maybe we can get armor
put
for
armor
it.
on it. Yeah.
And you would strengthen its attacks. And
it's D&D. We can do what we want.
Exactly.
We make the game up as we go, kind of thing. You know, that's. I'm learning that about it, and it's kind of funky.
All right. I just want to point out. Okay, I don't. Remember Booker, when you went to get the holy water?
Yep.
Okay. And I was trying to describe something that was in the fountain.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you ignored it completely.
It was a holy symbol, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just
All
like
your
that.
spell components.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
One item.
So basically, I was trying to say, do you wish to investigate the cause why this fountain in particular is spewing holy water?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, okay. Bye-bye.
No.
Hey,
Don't care. Got
Hey,
it. Done.
I've played enough computer games to know in my time, you know, they always point you back towards the same thing. A good DM would make that drop at my feet somewhere a little bit later.
Right.
So I'll be fine.
Sure.
I guess it depends how you behave.
He's just got to go find a temple of his own god again, and they can make.
There is only one temple in all of Ruthim, and it is the whole of the Black Waves.
I guess we're going back.
All right, well,
All right,
Yeah, it was
let's get
funny.
out of here. I think
Yes.
we're about done for
We're
tonight.
about done,
It's been
indeed.
awesome.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
been pretty good.
All right, ladies and gents, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And see you in the next one, I guess.
Indeed, guys, thank you
All
so
right,
much.
Cheers, guys.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.